Hare Krishna. Today we're reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, slok number 13 to 5.13. And over here, Lord Krishna is continuing that when the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions, he resides happily in the city of nine gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done. So over here, this nine gates, that is the nine holes in the body, right? That is being described as a city. So it is figuratively being described as a city because this is where the soul is residing. But what is key over here? That when the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions. First of all, it is very difficult to control one's nature. You may have also heard that, nature is swabhav in Hindi. Must have heard that when someone says, "Are aise kyun kiya?" They say, "Are swabhav hi aisa hai mera, main kya karu?" Right? That is my nature. That is how I am. And habits can be changed very easily. Right? You stop doing a habit, then you do a new habit. Children when they're growing up, they start biting their nails or they put their finger in your mouth. That is not their nature. That is a habit. Because they like to do it or they get attached to it, right? So then you see that for the newborn kids, they put mittens on their hands to cover their fingers so that the finger cannot go into their mouth and then cannot put that cloth, the mitten cloth in their mouth. So we do those things to change the habits. Like eating meat, drinking alcohol is a habit. It can be changed. But nature, right, that is very difficult because that is inborn. That is carried over from birth after birth. And Krishna is saying that when the embodied living beings control his nature, right, a lot of people's nature is to think negative. Oh, somebody's not home, something must have happened. They cannot think anything positive over there. It's not a habit, it is a nature, it is inbuilt. And that is the effect of this material world. So, what Krishna is saying over here is extremely difficult, right? That the living beings control their nature and mentally renounces all actions. That mentally, although they are doing everything, they know that we are not the doer, that someone else, Krishna, is the doer actually. So, that controlling of the nature is very hard. But Krishna over here also gives us the solution. He gave us the solution in the previous shlokas. That when one realizes who they are, right? Who we are. Once we start realizing we are part and parcel of that supreme Godhead Krishna, and our only duty, the only reason we have received this valuable human birth is to understand who am I? Where do I need to go from here? Once we understand that, right? Because what happens is once we start to understand that, it is always on the forefront of our minds. It is always there on the front of our mind. You will see that anytime you're doing anything, think, why are people doing all of this? You know what? Let us try to focus a little bit on Krishna. Why doesn't everybody focus on that? Today, everybody is running around trying to show everyone that we are better than someone else. Whether it is materially, whether it is physically, whether it is at work, whether it is outside and on social media or anything. Yeah, there are some that are very genuine and are not doing it to degrade others or do anything or create problems for others, but they are doing it just to educate the society. That is separate. But today everyone is doing it to just get popularity, to look better in front of their boss, to basically look good in front of everyone else. But when you understand that our whole goal of life is to going back to Godhead Krishna, and that is at the forefront, then whatever is our nature, if our nature is to gossip, if our nature is to think negative, if our nature is to, always yell or anything like that, right? All of that nature, once you realize, once it is at the forefront that our goal is to go back to Krishna, what am I doing? Is this helping me or not? You will automatically calm down in the angriest of the situations. Why? Because you have understood that this is not the goal of my life. Bapuji just gave this example that if you have a business class ticket of New York to Bombay, and you take that ticket and you get on to the local metro, the subway, right? Or the train or the anything, and when they come to check the tickets, you tell them, oh, I have business class ticket from JFK to India. They will say, forget that, show me the what ticket do you have over here? Right? Show me your local train ticket or bus ticket or anything. And that's what we are doing. We have the ticket back to Godhead. We have this ticket to go back to Godhead in this lifetime. And we are here worrying about these small, small things in the local train. Right? And if you have a business class ticket and you're going in a cab, and in the cab, right, the driver says that I will not move unless you do not give me $5 more or 500 rupees more, I will just be standing here. For that $5 or for that 500 rupees, will you sit and waste your business class ticket from JFK to Bombay? No, you will not. You will say, given the extra $5, $10, I've paid thousands of dollars for this ticket, I need to go and reach on time. So that's exactly what over here Krishna is trying to tell us. That when we start controlling our nature, sometimes we just need one mantra, right? And close your eyes and repeat that mantra. It is Om Ignoraya Nama. Right? What is it? Om Ignoraya Nama. Just sit and ignore everything else around you. Because you just focus on your goal. If your goal is to reach the airport on time, all these small, small distractions, you won't even pay attention to them. You say, forget all these small distractions. I'm trying to go to India. I have a business class ticket. Why should I sit and worry about these small things? That is exactly what we need to do in this life. Is always keep that at our forefront, because whatever is at the forefront of our mind, of our head, that is how we will act. Sometimes, we've seen in the offices when people are working and then they remember something else, then they switch and they start doing something else. And they remember a third thing, then they start doing something else after that. They'll stop that and they start doing something else. That is called context switching. So our mind right now, it may be thinking, oh, I need to do so much work at home, and it is on the forefront, and then you get frustrated that I have so much work to do. Then you will see something else, and then your mind gets diverted to that side, and then you forget about, oh, I have so much work to do at home, or this has to be done, and so on. Why? Because your mind got diverted. Then if you got diverted to something else, you start watching into Instagram reels, and in 2 hours you don't come to know 3 hours, 4 hours. Just recently there was a young boy that online he was asking a Maharaj that once I sit to watch the phone, I don't even come to know 4, 5, 6 hours go just like that, and then my whole day is wasted. that is a habit that can be changed. But in order for our nature to be controlled, because if otherwise Krishna would have said over here that, that one who changes his nature to become such a way. But Krishna has said that one who controls his nature, because we cannot change how we are, but we can control it. How? By always thinking about Krishna, always keeping Krishna at the front of our heads, at the forefront. And when Krishna is at the forefront, right, whatever actions we perform, and we say, Krishna, I'm performing this action, but just for your pleasure. Whatever fruit you want, you keep. It doesn't matter. I'm doing it for you, so that you become pleased with me. Right? So when you control your nature, automatically all of your actions that you are doing, you will renounce all of the fruits. Right? Renouncing all the actions means that you're not doing any actions. It means you are not attached to the fruit. Because we are all attached to Krishna. So we are just attached that how can Guru and Krishna become happy? So when you find yourself in a situation in the future, when we find ourselves where we cannot control our anger, we cannot control what we're saying or anything, that time remember, how is this helping me in my devotional life? How is this helping me get closer to Krishna? This person bothered me, okay, it might be my previous karma. Or even if it is not, right, I will just learn to let it go. I will ignore I now, just let it go. Why should I get upset? Right? But we cannot change our nature. We just have to learn to control it. Some people's nature is that they will just simply buy everything. Right? They can never buy one thing. If they go out, they will have to buy 10, 20 things, etc. So we cannot change their nature. They cannot change their nature. But they can control it. How? By always thinking about Krishna. And when we keep Krishna at the forefront of everything we are doing, automatically our nature is in our control. All of our actions that we perform, it will be for Krishna. Right? And then the fruit, whatever Krishna gives us, we are happy. Krishna, we don't want anything. We're just doing this to make you happy. So if we do this, right, we will happily reside in this body. But if we cannot do this, then you will see how so many people are frustrated in their body. In fact, in Switzerland now, they've introduced a machine where one can go if they want. It's almost like committing suicide, where if they want to give up their body, they just go, they lay down in a box, they have the button inside, they press the button, all the oxygen gets taken out and nitrogen or something goes in, and in a few minutes, the person is dead, left his body. Right? But why do we need all of those things? And our main goal, when we have learned, when Krishna has showered his mercy and taught us that the main goal of this life, right, is to go back to God and go back to Krishna. So let us work on always thinking about Krishna, and that will help us control our nature and renounce all of the actions where we perform everything for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Right? So this is a beautiful shlok of how we can control our nature by always thinking about Krishna. We cannot change our nature. We can at least learn to control it. Right? And then we will live happily in this body. And in that way, always chant, always think of Krishna, and we will always be happy. We'll end here for today. For we will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna.